Hello everybody, I'm Tiffany of Tiffany Outdoors. Welcome to my channel. In this episode, I want to show you guys some Christmas crafts that you can make yourself. So let's get started. First craft, you're going to need 2 fence boards. They're like $1.50 or a little bit cheaper, might be a little bit more. Lowe's or Home Depot. They look like this little dog-eared fence. Got the little rounded thing. It doesn't have to have this. It's just a little piece. These are actually scraps that I had on hand. So this is what I'm going to use. You're going to need 2 of these. Let's get into this. So I got my 2 boards here. And they're about 30 inches. So that's what I'm going to go with. You can make it longer. You can make it any length you want. And I'm going to take another piece of scrap wood. And I need 1 piece that goes the length crosswise. And I need to cut and measure that. Next step is paint these, the long pieces. We're going to paint those red. And the short piece, we're going to paint that one black. While the paint is drying, I'm going to move on to my next step, which is to cut out my letters H-O-H-O-H-O, ho ho ho. So what I did was I got this piece of wood. It's 7/32 thick and it's 2 feet by 2 feet. Went to Walmart, the craft section, got these little letters, and I'm going to use my scroll saw. Now you can actually use these. You can stick them on or glue them onto your pieces of wood that we're going to do if you like, but me, I want to make my own letters. So I took my jigsaw and cut these out and made them a little bit smaller and easier to manage with the scroll saw. I've got all my H's cut out. Now I'm going to cut out my O's and then I'm going to sand them down. Now that I have all of my letters cut out, now I'm going to go over them real lightly with the sander to try to even out some of the edges. Some of them aren't quite perfect, but it's okay. You guys know what I say. It doesn't have to be pretty or perfect. I've got my letters all sanded down, and now I'm going to paint them white. And I'm going to add some of this glitter. Since purple is my favorite color, I'm going to sprinkle some of this purple glitter on the white paint. While I'm waiting for the paint to dry, now I'm going to draw some lines on this part right here, which is going to be the belt. I'm going to draw some lines and outline the belt buckle. And I'm not going to be specific about it. I'm not trying to make this perfect. I'm going to go about halfway in between, half this way. Go about halfway here, and draw a line there. Like I said, I'm not measuring, I'm just kind of eyeballing it. Okay, and then I'm going to come down, I don't know, I guess about right here to here on each side. Draw a line this way. And this way. And same thing on the bottom. Okay, and then I'm going to come in just a touch, maybe about an inch here and here, and draw a line from this line that goes here and here, draw a line that goes from here to here. Same on this side. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint all of this outside here. I'm going to paint all of that silver, and then I'm going to put some glitter on here also. I'm going to be using this multi-surface paint. And this color is Timeless Gray. I got these from Walmart. I think they were like 50 cents. They were less than $1. They're about 98 cents to 50 cents depending on which color you got. So if you can pick up some of this from Walmart, that'll be a great cheap paint that you can use for this. I'm sprinkling this as I go so that the glitter sticks to the wet paint. Well, you can tell I'm making 2 of these. I'm going to give one of them away as a gift, but I'm going to let these dry overnight. I'm losing tons of daylight right now, and I'm going to come back tomorrow and screw these things together, and we'll finish up. Alright everybody, the paint has dried. Now it's time to screw this thing together. Of course, you could probably screw all of these together before you even paint them, but I wasn't sure how the paint was going to come out, so that's why I decided to paint it first and then screw it together. So, moving on. I am using 1 5/8 inch screws. So I'm going to screw a scrap piece here and a scrap piece a little bit further down to tie these together. And then I'm going to put some screws in to hold the black part, which is the belt. Alright, for my next step, now all I have to do is glue on my letters. Ho ho ho. Ho ho ho. Like that. And then I'm going to put a piece of wood on top and clamp it down with my quick grip and let it dry for a couple hours. While that first set of Santa legs is drying, I'm going to work on the second set. And this is the one that I use, just a regular fence board that you can, this is just a regular fence panel that you use for a privacy fence. I wanted to try both ways to see which one would come out the best. So, on this one, I'm going to use 1 1/4 inch screws to screw on this piece here, this piece of scrap wood. Okay, since this wood is so thin, I'm going to be using some hinge screws, little tiny screws like this, to screw in the part that represents the belt. I just hope these are long enough to do the job. Alright, let's flip this over. Ah, perfect. So, there we go. I'm going to leave this one plain, just like that. I'm not going to put ho 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 on it like I did the first set. I'm just going to leave these plain. I think they look pretty cute, just like that. Decoration has dried, so this is it. I think this came out so good. Now, these letters, you can actually buy them if you'd like, but I did cut mine out, so these are mine that I made myself, so I'm pretty proud of that. Okay, they're side by side now. And I really like the way these came out. They're very simple, they're easy to make, and the only thing that I had to buy for these is the paint. That was it. And of course the wood to cut out the little ho 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 letters. And that was pretty cheap, but everything else was made out of scrap wood. It was stuff that I already had laying around. So, I hope you guys like these. The one on the left is the one that I used the deck boards. And the one on the right, I use the privacy fence boards, which they run about $2 to $3 a piece. And depending on how long or how tall you want to make this, you only need one board actually. And I had 2 that were about the same length, so there we go, guys. This next project that I want to work on is going to be a little miniature lighted Christmas tree made out of wood. And if you recognize this design, it's the same one, same shape that I use for the Halloween decorations for the candy corn. The only thing I did was paint this one green. So all I need to do is figure out what to use for the stalk or the trunk of the tree, and something for the base. I'm gonna have to figure that out. So I'll be right back. For the tree trunk, I went around to my scrap wood pile and found this baluster for a porch. So this is what I'm going to use. I just need to cut it down to size and screw it to the tree itself and figure out how tall to make this. I think it maybe cut it off about right here. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But yes, I need to cut this down to size. And this was on my scrap wood pile. For the base, I came up with this. I went to my scrap wood pile. As you could tell, this stuff is not brand new. It's been sitting out in the rain and stuff. But this is going to work out perfectly. So what I'm going to do is basically make a stand like so. And this middle section is where the tree trunk will attach to. And then the rest of this base right here all around will keep it stable. I'm going to have to cut this flat. So I'm going to pull out my miter saw, cut this flat, and then see how tall to make this little trunk. And then put this together. I want to screw the outside boards together and leave this loose. Then I'm going to screw my tree trunk to this. Put it down in there and then screw in on the sides to hold it in place. And then after that, I want to add some lights to it. So the main thing I'm doing is screwing these in on the outsides here, here, and here, leaving this loose. I'm basically making sure that this middle section here is sandwiched in between these two and then fitting this stuff around. It's kind of like a jigsaw puzzle. But when I screw this piece in here, I already got this piece screwed in. Just need to make sure that's tight. This is tight up against this one. Sandwiched it in. And now I'm going to put 2 screws here. Okay, I'm running low on daylight. So, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to mark off my stake where I need to cut it off at. And I'm going to cut it off and finish this project tomorrow. Well, continue with it tomorrow, I'll say that. And this right here is going to be the part that I'm going to stick down in the base. I just measured it, I stuck it down in the base, and I pulled this out a little bit higher up so I can see. So you want some of this showing to make it look kind of like a Christmas tree. So that's what I did. I didn't fuss with it and try and make it all perfect or anything like that. I just measured it, I stuck it down in the thing and held this up and like, yep, it looks good right there. So that's what I did. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Okay, I'm going to continue on with this Christmas tree. Now this, my stick here, measured it out at 25.5 inches long, and I've got my little pieces here, and these, all 3 of them together, are about 16 3/8, just about. But it doesn't have to be exact, it doesn't have to be pretty, and it doesn't have to be perfect, guys. So let's move on. First thing I want to do is line this up so that this portion here covers the stick. But I don't want it too far down low so it sticks out on the side. I want that totally hidden. And I want to I'm just going to eyeball it and try and get it as centered as possible. Then I'm going to drill 2 pilot holes here for some screws. I'll make sure I have it lined up kind of in the middle of the little Christmas tree itself and in the middle of the actual wood here. Okay. There we go. There's the top portion, and you see that you cannot see the stick in the back supporting it, so that's how you want it to look. And I'm using 2-inch exterior deck screws in case you guys wanted to know what size screws I was using. Alright, so this is our little midsection that I'm going to use to screw this on. I'll try to get it. I'm just going to eyeball it and get it as evenly as I can, and then I'm going to put these 2 screws in. These are 2.5-inch screws, so it'll have enough length to go through the 2x4 scrap and what's going to be the tree trunk without it going all the way through. There. Put it towards you so you can see a little bit better. There we go. Now what I'm going to do is put some screws here on the sides. Okay, so I got that done. Now don't worry about this base, guys. We're going to use a tree skirt, an actual tree skirt, to cover that up. So if you want to make it pretty and neat, you can, and just paint the base, but I'm not going to paint mine. I'm going to leave it just like that. I'm just going to cover it up with a tree skirt. Now the next step that I want to do is figure out about lights. I do want to put some lights on here. I'm just not sure what options there are out there, so I'm just going to have to explore it and see which ones I like best. Okay, back to our little crooked Christmas tree. It is a little crooked up here, but that's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. So the next thing I want to do is figure out how I want to do the lights on these. Now I went and found some lights at Rose's for, I think these were $3, and they're purple, my favorite color, and there's 70 of them. I'm not sure if this might be too many, but I want to try it and see. Give these a whirl and see how they look. Maybe I can put some hot glue on there to hold them in, or staple gun. I thought about that. Let's see. They're not very purple to me. They look more pink. A reddish pink. It's a little disappointing, but it's okay. We're just going to roll with it. Probably take these and wrap them around like you would a normal Christmas tree. Put this like so. And that's all the length I have. Let's see. Doesn't look too bad. Looks kind of cute. Zoom in so you guys can see. Of course, I know I could do a better job at wrapping these around, but the length of it it's kind of far away from the plug right now. But you guys get the gist of it. Good. Cover this up. Make more lights here. Looks great from the back. But anyway. Of course, when it's set up, it'll be a lot closer to an electrical socket than it is right now. So the next thing is to cover up this ugly, ugly base. I went, of course, to the Dollar Tree, and I found these little tree skirts that were only $1, and they were pretty cute, so I said, why not? Why not? This doesn't have to be expensive. just get your creative juices flowing. And there's tons of ideas on Pinterest that could help you along with cheap ideas and Christmas decorations or any holiday decoration that you're looking for. Alright, here we go. There we go. Our third and final project will be using these glass bowls. Now, I've seen some items on Pinterest that use different size bowls, but I'm using all three the same, and they are 3.85. They're 3.875 inches. And I got 3 of these. And each one of these bowls I'm going to put something different, and then the idea is to stack them up like a snowman. And I got this little cap that I got from the Dollar Tree, and put that right on top and it'll look like a little snowman. So let's get started on this. So on this first layer, what I want to do, I'm going to use my little Christmas trees here. Let's snip these little tags off. And they have 3 different styles, so I got one of each style. I have the frosted one, a glitter one, and one that's all white. I thought these were really pretty, so I'm just gonna take some hot glue. Got my hot glue gun here all heated up. Put some hot glue on the bottom of this. And I'm gonna glue this inside the glass. Right in there. So I want him to stay put. Okay. 2. And this last one. There we go. Easy peasy. Might have to bend the tops a little bit because this next, we might make this one my top layer then. Since the trees are poking up a little bit, the hat will cover it. So then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pour some of this fake snow all around here, and until it gets about covered up. There we go. There. Oh yes, that looks good. I love the way that looks. So I'm going to put this one as my top layer. So my next layer, how about these little bells? Put those in. Let's see, they're tied together, but let's see if I can separate it without it tearing up too bad. Let's see here. Trying to see how they're in there. How they're connected. There we go. I'm just going to twist this off. At least one of them. Keep the one that's got all the little decorative stuff. Oh yeah, that's pretty. Okay, so I'm going to glue this one too. Just going to put a little bit of glue all around the rim. Okay. Alright, put a little bit of hot glue all around the rim here. There we go. See if that Front and center. And pour some more of my fake snow in there. And maybe I'll put a bell in there that's loose. Let's see if they'll all fit. No, they won't all fit. They won't all fit, so I'll just put 2 in there. Maybe I should have moved that over some, but too late. Alright, never mind. Just go with 1. I don't want to make it too difficult. It doesn't have to be perfect or anything like that. You know what I always say. For the next portion, what I want to do is look around my yard to see what I can find to put in these globes. Inside this pine tree, I think one of these couple of these little tiny pine cones. I'm trying to do this so gently so I don't tear up the pine cone. There we go. There we go. Got 5 good looking pine cones. Now what I'm going to do is take these and spray paint them. So I've got a few little Christmas type colors here. I'm going to paint some purple. And then what I'm going to do is, while the paint is wet, I'm going to sprinkle some of this glitter on here. I'm going to make use of this glitter because I think it's going to look cool. Let's see. I'm not going to paint them all the same color, but I'm going to do some purple. Sprinkle some of this glitter on there. Do that while the paint is still wet. That way the glitter will stick to it. There we go. That should dry pretty quickly, so I didn't spray a whole lot of paint on there, but there we go. Oh, that's gonna look really nice. That's gonna be cool. All right, I'm gonna leave him alone, let him dry. Let's see, do a red one. Mosquito trying to get me. Red one, and put some purple glitter on it. Let's hit that purple. Oh, blue glitter. Okay, yeah, this is blue. I'll put it on there pretty heavy too, just because I think it looks pretty. Okay, and green. Some green paint. And some red glitter on this. That's kind of Christmassy. I'm not going to be shy with this glitter either. I'm going to pour it on pretty heavy. Sprinkling it on like I'm seasoning something. Alright, so I'm going to leave those and let them dry. I know I got 5. I don't know, maybe I'll paint these and just leave them plain. How would I do that? Move him around. There we go. So that one's painted. And back to my favorite color, purple. Spray this one purple. And just leave that one no glitter. Alright, and then I'm going to let that dry. The last one, I'm going to glue my little colored pine cones that I collected off the tree and in the yard. Alright, let's see. Luckily I left the stick on this one so I have something to glue down with, huh? I could glue that one there. And I'm not being particular about where it goes, I'm just putting them in. That one there. This one's got a nice flat spot, so got some glue on there. That was a purple one. So pretty. And this little green one, I'm going to have him laying on the side because it's so small, I don't think it'll stand up anyway. If I can put that on its side. There we go. And this last one, got a nice flat spot here. We're going to go with that. Put some glue there. And let's see. And there we go. And I don't want to totally cover these up, but I do want the bottom to be mostly covered. A little bit of this, a little fake snow here. There, I think that's good enough. I'll probably put a little more. I don't want my green pine cone to get totally covered. But there we go. Oh, that looks pretty. So I'm not going to glue my glasses together at all. I'm just going to leave them loose so that at the end of the season I can still take them down. Still got to put on my little hat. Oh, I didn't even think about this. But I put a little dab of glue on the top of the trees. And that will hold that hat on. I get it as centered as possible. It doesn't have to be perfect. There we go. There we go. We got our three tiers. So it does look kind of like a little snowman. This is a simple, easy design. I got the bowls from the Dollar Tree. I got the trees from Walmart for 76 cents. I got the little hat from Dollar Tree. And the little snow, the fake snow I got from Dollar Tree. And then the pine cones, I did those myself. So I think this is cheap, easy, and simple. You don't have to spend $100 on some decorations for Christmas. You can make them yourselves. So that's the bottom. That's the middle. That one is the top, along with the hat. I want to thank you for joining me in today's episode, and I hope you guys make these projects. And if you have any other ideas on different Christmas projects, leave them in the comments below, and I will see you guys later. Bye.